I'm Dr. Jordin Wiggins, and this is the Pleasure Principles podcast. Join me on this journey where sex, science, and sensuality meet. Let's change the conversation around sex and pleasure together. Hey, Superwomen, you are here because you are not settlers. Well, not settlers in many areas of your life, like career. Sometimes we tend to be a little bit of settlers when it comes to relationship. You're evolvers, like me. We get bored, we look for the next challenge. In some ways, if it's not hard, we don't trust it. We don't have to work for it. We think something must be wrong. There's got to be a catch. It's actually a common comment that superwomen applying to the mentorship have been saying. Okay, well, if I do this, if I have love and desire, if I feel alive, energetic, what do I have to give up? Ladies, that is our trauma talking. So because we are evolvers, because we don't like to settle, because we are over-functioning, people-pleasing, because we don't really believe that we can have pleasure without earning it. This is why sex tips don't work. This is why communication formulas don't work. It's why couples therapy doesn't usually work for superwomen. You can listen to episode 116, What Every High-Achieving Woman Was Never Told About Intimacy and Connection, part 2, for more information on that. So we want more. The women that I work with, we've done the therapy, we've done the work, we've listened to the podcast, we've read the books, we have demanded, we have withheld, we have cried, we have yelled, we've said, fuck it, I'm staying single, or I guess this is as good as it gets. We've done the things in relationship. But what we really desire is to be cared for, to let it all go sometimes, to have someone else take care of it. To our standards, we're still superwomen, which I can explain that response as well. We desire to not have to think ahead, to have somebody pick up the slack without being asked, to not have to take the lead. We desire to be pursued, to be taken. We desire to feel pleasure, like truly feel it, let it in. And if my work speaks to you, I can guarantee that you are missing this one thing in your relationship if you want more of what I just said. And that is aftercare. Simply put, this is intentionally caring for each other after sex, after intimacy. Aftercare is a concept of intimacy from the BDSM, the kink community, that has become more popularized, and I think all of us should be practicing it, especially superwomen. So after a BDSM scene, after removing restraints, tending to bruises, tending to the physical and emotional aspects of what just happened. That's aftercare. That's where it came from in its advent. And it could be cuddling. It could be expressing gratitude. It could be hand-holding, showering together, chatting, looking in each other's eyes. The point is, it makes everyone feel cared for after a sexual encounter. I find that this is very important for superwomen, mainly because lots of superwomen have ADHD, lots of superwomen are trauma survivors, and it is important in general, especially because we've been conditioned, to be the good girl people pleasers, to be the cool girls, to not want to ruin the mood, to not be a burden, to not ask for too much. Well, I'm going to tell you, 2024 is my era of too much. And you know what is hot? What real men actually desire is a woman that knows what she wants and knows how to ask for it because they don't have to guess. And then they get to protect and provide and just see how we have this yin yang balance, this reciprocal relationship. And again, it's not necessarily gendered, it is energetic. So go with me. Let me tell you more about aftercare. It is becoming as popular as the love languages and attachment styles. So I wanted to give my opinion as it applies to superwomen because not everything applies to us. So, some benefits of aftercare: it deepens emotional connection, it promotes emotional well being, it increases desire, it promotes relationship satisfaction, and it enhances feelings of safety after intimacy, which is especially important for superwomen because our nervous systems are dysregulated, our adrenals are dysregulated, pleasure centers in our brain are off, and we are not good at receiving pleasure. If have been with me for a while, you know that I can do 10 whole podcasts just on that. Picture this. You've just been intimate, you're basking in the afterglow. My clients are letting in the heights of new pleasure. The fact that they just experienced a longer orgasm, more orgasms, squirting for the first time, truly feeling connected to something bigger than themselves. Maybe they've had marathon sex for days or hours where we're only leaving bed for food. And let's talk about realities. For most superwomen, we have non-existent intimacy, or if we are having sex, it's checkbox sex for our partner because we think it's our role where we're doing things in the same order, same positions. You're in a rut. You know what you need to do to get each other off. Maybe you need a toy. And again, there is no shame here for any way you are having sex or being intimate. I'm speaking to the women and men, very smart men that are listening that want more. They know there's more. They know their bodies are capable more of more. They're desiring more intimacy and connection. So, regardless of your reality, there is a science based reason for aftercare, and that is our hormonal release, oxytocin, the connection and attachment hormone, dopamine, pleasure satisfaction hormone. And if you want more details on the physiology of this, you can read my book, The Pink Canary, where I will discuss it in more detail. But the post sex afterglow, the room is filled with palpable energy. And as the hormones fade away, we can feel anxious. And superwomen, other people, probably just people in general, but definitely superwomen, we usually busy ourselves to numb these feelings. Thinking about work or what we have to get done, like we're not present with the post intimacy feelings, or maybe we're jumping to people pleasing, like, was that good enough? Aftercare bridges the gap between our physical, hormonal, and emotional realm. The hormonal come down can bring up a lot of feelings that we try and avoid. There's even, it's called postcoital dysphoria. And I don't like to pathologize these things. Like, sex and intimacy is a high, it's a hormonal high, and it's something like great intimacy. That high can last for hours or days. And we're using aftercare as a way to connect, deepen, integrate those feelings, those hormones. Aftercare is the bare minimum. It is an essential to a good sexual experience, and it is essential to deepening intimacy, just like foreplay, which a lot of people rush to get to the P and the V part. And we know that you are missing opportunity for so much pleasure. So I don't care if it is a one night stand, if it is a casual sexual relationship for my single superwoman, if it's a long term relationship, aftercare is an important component. Care and respect can exist in casual relationships. If you want to roll over and go to sleep after sex, see ya. Like, I've actually never been with anyone like that, but just know aftercare is an essential part of intimacy. And my pussy is like a Ferrari. Ladies, not everyone gets a ride. So if you have a man that is going to fall asleep after intimacy and not care for you, attend to your hormonal and emotional needs, bye. And a part of this is our work. It's our work in receiving. If we have sex and our brain is back to being on, thinking about our to-dos. Maybe you never even stopped. Lots of women that I work with, like they're not even able to receive pleasure, be present with pleasure throughout intimacy. They're constantly being pulled out of the moment. Give me aftercare with sex, give me aftercare after a fight. And you know, when you like eviscerate each other, when you say things that are hurtful, because you know which buttons to push. Aftercare, coming together, connecting. And sometimes if you can't even do it with words yet, physically, it's important. Give me aftercare after an amazing date. Text me. Tell me what a great time you had. Tell me how great the sex was a few days later. I'm going to give you some tips for aftercare, but I want to tell you why aftercare is challenging for superwomen. And I kind of already did. It's challenging because you have a receiving problem. I have been talking about this for years. You can even go back to episode 82, how to escape the void and feel safe receiving love, attention, pleasure. Aftercare comes with a level of intimacy that most superwomen are not comfortable with, but yet is what we desire. So do you see the paradox? Do you see the disconnect? We desire the deep connectedness, to be ravished, to be supported, to be broken open by love, to let someone take the lead and care for us. In order to do this, in order to receive this level of love, receive this level of pleasure, receive this level of intimacy, we have to be able to receive. I'm saying receive a lot because I want it to get it through. And you're probably multitasking while you are listening to this. So hopefully the receiving seed has been planted. Superwomen do not understand that the problem is not all of our adaptations, the armor that we put up, the defense mechanisms, the numbing behaviors, are controlling the things that we have done to try and help us feel safe. And those are the things that we try and fix. But those are actually our blocks to receiving love, intimacy, connection that we desire. Even if you do not have emotional or sexual trauma, as many of my clients do, we were raised in a culture that devalues pleasure, definitely sexual pleasure, and definitely women's sexual pleasure. To fully receive pleasure, to be present with pleasure, to be present with compliments, to be present with longer orgasms, to allow ourselves to be cared for without controlling, without manipulating, without thinking 10 steps ahead, which is it is a trauma response to try and keep ourselves safe because we were raised in environments where it was not safe. So to be fully present with pleasure without checking out, that's the work. That is what I am teaching a curated group of 15 women in the feminine mentorship this year. That is what you have spent a lifetime trying to fix in all the wrong places. You were getting oil changes when you really needed a tire change or like to get in a whole new car. Can you trust yourself enough to stop controlling and let go, to be opened by pleasure. It is scary for most of us. You're going to tell me all of the excuses in the world, like, I think I'm too burnt out to prioritize this. I don't have the time to prioritize this. This is scary for most of us because we were not loved the way we deserve to be loved growing up. Receiving love and attention meant that something bad was going to happen. Receiving sexual attention made you insert negative, derogatory word about women here, and there is no male equivalent. Interesting. We've gone down a path that led us to pick relationship after relationship where we gave and gave and gave and people pleased, and did not matter how much we pretzeled ourselves, we did not get the love we deserved. We got in a new relationship and we thought, oh, this is it. And we choose to settle and stay in that relationship or stay single because that's maybe easier. It feels safer. And we start to think there's something wrong with us. We start to tell ourselves stories about how relationships are not for us. I guess this is as good as it gets. Or at least I have my house, my millions, my friends. Like I have a full, happy life, my kids, whatever we're saying to convince ourselves that it's enough. But you're listening because you know it's not enough. It is not what you truly desire. Superwomen, this year we need to practice pleasure. We need to practice receiving. We need to practice connecting to balance giving and receiving healthy love, feminine energy. And we cannot do that from an empty tank, superwomen. Not when our tank is empty and we are burnt out in general and our pleasure centers are turned off, or when our love tank is empty. Like when we have so much, but not in this one area, it's truly not fulfilling. We are on this planet to connect and receive. And that can look different for many different people in different relationships at different points. It should evolve, deepen, ebb and flow. Now, lucky for you, superwomen who have it all, but not a lot of pleasure and intimacy to show for it. I have 3 spots left in the feminine mentorship. We start in 2 weeks. 12-month program to change your life, 2 in-person retreats, online workshops, skill salons, quick, easy trainings. I understand you are busy. You don't have a lot of time to dedicate to this. The trainings are quick, easy, and designed to be done as you are already going about your day. Short, sweet, maximum impact. It's like the best kind of quickie. Fill out the application in the show notes. Don't wait. Don't tell yourself you will do it next year. Several of the women signed up this year said that they waited. They wanted to deprioritize this, that other things were more important. A year has gone by. Things are the same or worse. The work is easier and more fun than you think. We are using ancient Chinese medicine practices, Taoist practices. These are from ancient texts that only the elite royals were allowed to use, texts that were burned to try and keep it away from the public. Nothing scares people more than a woman in her sexual power. Whole other podcast on that. My point being, these are time-tested practices. It will work for you. They have been around for thousands and thousands of years. And I know how to deliver them in a way that is going to work for you and your superwoman brain because I have one. So apply. 3 spots left. Cannot wait. You and I are going to get on a call. We're going to discuss, is this right for you? And if it's not my only option for how to help you. But if you feel called to this and you have some questions, but you know that this work is for you, can't wait to connect and discuss it with you. So, your aftercare pleasure prescription, and this can differ for each couple. And I think I forgot to say, I would even recommend aftercare for yourself after self pleasure. So, physical well being, touch, blankets, pillows, make your body comfortable after sex. Do you need food and water? Like sometimes, if it's been a long time, aftercare for me is somebody bringing me some water and a snack. Number two, emotional well being. So we're communicating around what happened, our needs, our boundaries, gratitude, desires, things to create emotional intimacy. Maybe we need to review consents, our yes, nos, our maybes, ladies, pleasure principles, ladies. We talk about this. So, did something happen that didn't feel good or made you feel uncomfortable or wasn't agreed on? And here's some suggestions of things that you can talk about. So, talk about your partner's body or the parts that felt amazing. Love a little praise kink. So do most super women because our conditioning, we like to be told we're doing a good job. Is praise is our drug of choice. And when people praise our bodies or things that we did, it is going to feel even better. Maybe we're just holding each other and having direct eye contact. Maybe we are laughing about moments that were less than perfect. And I hate to use that word, but aftercare can be light-hearted. Sex doesn't need to be one way. And also, tip number 4, wanted to remind you to give yourself some grace. It can be terrifying if you are not comfortable being this intimate at a very vulnerable time, physically, emotionally, hormonally. And number 5, I'm going to give you an extra one. Your intention matters. So even if your training wheels are on, you're stumbling, you're blushing when you're trying to speak or say what you like or didn't like, it's the intention behind your action that will speak through. So your authentic expression is what is the sexiest. So try some aftercare. Let me know how it goes. Send me a DM on Instagram. Have a great week, everybody. If you like what you heard in this episode, leave me a rating. Your support helps me get discovered by more women like you. Together, we can change the conversation around women's sexual health and pleasure for you, your partners, and generations to come.